Well, you were saying you saw Sonic Blue. Rolling it in, man.
Yeah, there's nothing to talk about with that. So
No
no,
spoilers.
no.
Did Keanu Reeves live up to the hype?
Yeah, but then at the end, you're kind of like, oh.
I've seen a lot of shorts where they go like super,
Mm-hmm.
which is like cool.
Oh yeah, Shadow was badass.
Yeah. Well, that's Keanu Reeves.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Okay. So
But then you get Idris Elba.
yeah,
It's just
Knuckles.
yeah.
Knuckles. All right, so we're back, and we're gonna be drinking some Irish beer. What's it called? I don't even know.
How about we get back to that and you say what we're going to be talking about today or
Yeah.
drinking today?
We're gonna be drinking Hanra's Marionette. Is that right? Yeah.
No,
What's it? How do you say it?
that's Anra's Marionette.
Sounds Italian, but it's an Irish red ale from the Riverlands Brewing Company. And first, about the beer, it's 4.5 alcohol by volume in 1 pint. The beer, I believe, is in honor of a friend of theirs. It says, "Dance like no one is watching." Anra's Marionette is an Irish red ale brewed in dedication to the memory of a good friend and his sweet dance moves. A special brew made for St. Paddy's Day. It is significantly caramelly, bready, and easy drinking enough to make sure you last through the whole pub crawl. Oh, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Brewed by friends for friends.
There you go.
So, I don't think we've done anything from Riverlands before, have we?
No, we have not.
Okay, so a little bit about them that we pulled up on their website. If you guys want to check it out, riverlandsbrewing.com. It says it was opened in 2019 as a tap room and brewery in St. Charles, Illinois, focused on brewing high-quality ales and lagers. While we do not have a kitchen, we book food trucks and pop-ups on weekends and have various locally made snacks on hand as well. Our spacious, high-ceiling tap room is a perfect location to meet up with friends, sample some beers, and hang out. They have live music on weekends to give everyone a reason to come back time and time again. Whether you're looking for a crisp, clean Pilsner, a hazy IPA, a fruited sour, a deep dark stout, our St. Charles Brewery is sure to have something for everyone. From day one, our brewery has been about the ties between beer and friendship. Join us as we continue our journey making beer. Brewed by friends for friends. So that's the legend here on their website. They got a couple of quick links about the food trucks, music, their tap list, and about us, which I'm sure is a little bit more in depth as to how they started and probably all that.
All right.
All right, so
Well, hopefully these don't explode on us.
yeah, looking forward to not have beer explode in my face.
You love when beer explodes in your face,
No,
though.
I do not.
Oh, 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 oh,
Oh, no,
almost did. Smells kind of. Oh yeah, this is definitely red ale. That's
Yep.
good.
Well, I was looking to get something not too thick or heavy on the alcohol by volume, due to the fact that we don't want to get too fucked up.
Mhm.
Even though we are doing the St. Patty's episode.
That is one dark red ale.
Yeah, it is red though.
Yes,
Nonetheless.
but I know, like, was it Killian's Irish Red?
Yeah.
It's way lighter than this. This is
Let's check this.
almost looks like soda.
Smells really good.
Yeah, it does. I like the smell.
Yeah, it does smell a little bit sweet, so I like that. Hope I don't get too full.
Oh man, that
because
is
it's
a perfect pour.
ready. Look at that! Look at that! Look at that foam over the glass. Oh yeah.
Right to the tip.
So quick.
Slancha.
Yeah. Salute.
St. Patty's Day. You say slancha.
Sláinte.
Oh yeah, definitely a red ale.
Oh, this is good. I like that.
It's hard to really describe it though.
It's minty, or well, no,
Minty.
it's sweet caramel. I meant. I'm thinking minty because of the fucking pouch. We dropped some. What are they called?
Free.
That's what they're called. Yeah.
Or just FREs, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, man, because it's yeah, I have the caramel taste a little bit. I could taste the breadiness,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not heavy.
No.
It drinks light.
It's very dark.
It is very dark, but it drinks light, which is kind of weird.
Looks almost like a pilsner.
It looks well, and then you could see the reflection. You could tell the light, the redness.
Yeah.
I don't know. It has a good flavor. It's hard to explain because yeah, it's caramely and bready, but there's something else about it that just I can't really explain.
Can't put your finger on it.
Yeah, but it tastes good. I like it.
It's the gold of the Irish.
Now, see, this would be a good like, with it being 4.5%. This is a good pub crawl beer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, for sure.
it'd be really hard to dye it green
Yeah.
because of how dark it is.
Right.
But I would say this would be a pretty good like pub crawl beer to kind of just if they had it on tap
Mm-hmm.
and just boom 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 just going down the
Keep
line
pouring them. Yeah.
like a beer pong beer or something too. You know.
It's intimidating.
Yeah.
The color,
Oh yeah.
how it looks, but
Well, the way it looks, yeah, it does come off with it being dark that you're gonna think, oh man, this is gonna knock me out.
I'm gonna sleep on a sidewalk somewhere.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. But no, it's actually it's really smooth. I do like it. It goes down easy.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to really describe what I'm tasting because it's just, I mean, it's just really, it's good. I mean, that's, I mean, I don't want to say anything else other than, yeah, I like it.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it right now. Put it on the wall.
You want to put this one on the wall?
Yeah.
All right, I'd want to.
I like it.
I want to put it on the wall just because I like the colors, and I
Mhm.
like the scheme of it, and
Yeah.
like it
So-
actually the knots around it match my ring.
Yeah.
So
I do like the color too. Like you said, green's my favorite color. So yeah. And
Well-
they had another like Irish, St. Patty's type beer, and I was like, and then I saw this one, I was like, well, let's check. This one had a little bit lower alcohol by volume, and we'd already done the other brewery.
Mhm.
I think it was a Revolution one. So I was like, let's try something different, And so it's really good. I like it. I'm enjoying this.
well, if you ever had Killian's Irish Red, this feels more like a upscaled version of that.
Yeah.
More not. I don't want to say like a little bit more refined. Has a little bit better. Has way better flavor,
Mm.
and I think drinkability wise, it's better too.
Yeah.
So I would go with that.
Yeah, I'm thinking this would be good out of a bottle too, because you know how like the container gives it a different taste.
Oh, I think this would be great on tap.
Well, yes, for sure. That yes, but also, like the difference when you drink soda or
Mhm.
pop, can, bottle, plastic, glass bottle's always the best.
Oh yeah, and I
So-
think with at least for me, when I drink beer, I prefer beer out of a bottle.
Yeah.
If I had my choice, I would go bottle, tap, can.
Yeah.
Except
No, I
like,
would go
it-
tap, bottle.
it depends on what it is, man. Like regular, like if we're drinking all day kind of beer, like
Your Michelob, your
like
Busch.
if you drink Michelob or Busch, bottle.
Yeah.
If you're drinking Coors, tap.
Okay.
I don't like Bud Light. Bud Light tastes just like straight up corn to me,
It's a little
or like rice. Like it just doesn't. It has a weird.
Weedy.
Yeah, it just has a little thing to it.
Yeah.
I won't do Miller Lite either. If I do Miller Lite, it's in a can. I'll do that in a
Okay.
can. If we're talking about like our domestic drinking all day kind of beers, but
Mhm.
I'd rather have a bottle over
Yeah.
anything. I just like the way I just prefer having
Yeah.
a bottle.
It's a controlled drinking.
No, I don't know. I just feel like the bottle, there's just something different than like popping the cap. It's like it has a different thing than
That
cans. With cans, I feel like depending on how long it's been sitting, you start getting that metallic taste.
True.
You know,
That, and every time you take a sip too.
Yeah. And then with tap, one, you don't know how long it's been there. You don't know if they wash their lines out,
Yeah.
and then you don't know if the CO2 is shot, and you get flat beer.
Yeah.
Like I was at one place because now Sorry, Riverlands Brewing. No, we're not completely talking about you. But I was at since Yingling is available here now,
Mm.
I got a Yingling on tap at a bar, and I could tell that they didn't clean the line out before they hooked that keg up.
Right.
So I was getting it was either a sour or a cider that was in there before.
Oh.
So I was getting it tasted like straight up like almost apple juice.
Mhm.
And the Yingling that I had, I've had it before. And that's why I'm like, wait a minute, this does not taste the same. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, this isn't supposed to taste like this. And then I asked the bartender, I'm like, hey, what was in on that tap before you put Yingling in?
It's like an orchard.
And she was like,
cider.
it was either a sour or a cider. I'm like, I'm like, that line was not cleaned out because this tastes like apples.
Yeah.
And then she even took like a small taster and smelled it and then took a sip. She's like, oh yeah, dude, you're right. This tastes like apple juice. I'm like, yeah, that's not how Yingling is supposed to
You
taste.
need a keg change on clean on tap 4, please.
But yeah, so I mean, that's where I shy away from taps because I'm just like, there's always those possibilities,
Yeah.
you know. But that's why I'm like, I'll take bottles over.
It's rare though. I mean it's
Yeah.
probably more common than you'd think, but I haven't gotten it that like often, like maybe once or twice.
And I prefer if I'm out, like I'd rather hold a bottle in my hand than hold a glass.
That too. Plus,
You know.
plus it's also nice when you get you can just take a bucket of beers to your table.
Exactly,
and
that
just,
too.
Like, just whenever you're done, you don't have to wait and like, hey, you have to flag a server down.
Yeah, because you don't want to be like, hey, I'll take 5 beers on tap
Yeah.
and have that shit sitting in front of you,
Getting
and then you're like, now it sucks.
yeah.
You know, like I'd rather have a bottle, and I just feel like I just like the portability of it.
Yeah.
And I just don't like. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of cans, really.
I'm okay with cans. I have no hate for
But if
them.
I have a preference, I'd rather have a bottle over a can.
The best I think is probably a chilled glass though. Like providing the lines are clean and
Yeah.
the perfect scenario, let's say.
Now, if I'm sitting at the bar
Yeah.
and I'm not at a table
Yeah, you
or
want
whatever, then I'll have a tap because it's a easier exchange of
Yeah.
getting what you want than rather if you're sitting at a table
right on.
waiting for it, because then you're like, all right, she's
Yeah.
coming around eventually. Like, not the server's fault because they have things to do,
Mhm.
but it's just like I would rather just be like, all right, we'll take a bucket and it sits there
Yeah.
and we just pull it out and we don't have to bother you.
And it's ice cold.
Yes, and the ice is there.
Yeah.
It just keeps it,
Yeah.
you know. But that's just me and my preference.
No, I'm right there with you. I mean, like I said, I would go tap, bottle, can.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure this is probably way better on tap.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Like, I prefer, like, this kind of beer I would want on tap.
Yeah.
Can, bottle, no. I'm sure the bottle would be good too, but I think this would be best
Yeah,
on tap.
I agree.
Because, I mean, it's good out of the can, but I feel like this would be elevated. Even with that little bit more of carbonation,
Yeah,
I think the little bit of that pump of carbonation would just make it even better.
get you a little bit fucked up faster.
Not necessarily, but like, I just feel like carbonation is just a good mouthfeel.
Mm.
You know, like
The suds.
like sparkling water compared to tap water,
Yeah,
or bottled water or whatever. Like those
Right.
bubbles just make it, I think, a better drinking experience.
Yeah,
You know, and it makes, I don't know, it just makes me feel better drinking it, having the bubbles.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. It's not like just drinking and you're done. You know,
yeah. No, for sure.
but that's just me. So,
No, it's a lot of people,
we didn't. There you go. Turn on the fireplace.
Yeah, bro, it's getting cold.
It's cold in here. I know it is kind of chilly down here.
Brrr, it's
It's
cold.
a
in
beautiful day outside, dude.
here. It is. I've been working underground. Well, I usually do, but we had to go up top for a little bit. And it was sunny. I could have done without the wind because it made it.
It was
chilly,
pretty windy today.
But being the sun was nice for a little bit.
But yeah, dude, the time change, I like it since it's going to be darker later now.
I hated it because I had to I was starting at 4:30, which means I had to start at basically 3:30
On Sunday?
No, Monday.
Okay, yeah, the time change was over already.
I know.
So it's not
but
like the time
still,
change was
the
Sunday night
adjustment.
into Monday.
The adjustment.
Yeah, but then it works out better when you're like, oh man, it's later, but the sun's still out.
Yeah.
Like, that changes my mood
Yeah.
so much more when it's not dark at 5 o'clock.
What I was just thinking about that because I saw the Trump thing when they're like, "Hey, when are we gonna do away with daylight savings?" And he's like, "Do we need to?" And then it reminded me of since we're gonna be it's a Irish kind of episode. What wasn't he saying we were gonna buy Ireland or some shit?
No, that was Greenland.
Greenland. There you go. I was like, which one was it? Ireland, or Greenland. Yeah, I remember that. It kind of made me chuckle a little bit. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna buy Greenland."
He's not the first person to talk about that, though.
No,
That's been a thing for a while.
Isn't Greenland the one that's all icy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Greenland is mainly ice, and Iceland is mainly a volcano.
Yeah.
It's green, but it's mainly a volcano.
Yeah.
And they eat like really weird food there, like preserved shark and all this other kind of stuff. It's really weird.
Canned shark.
But I mean, they all look like fucking giants out there.
Yeah.
So
It's that mountains, Caucasia mountains, people.
Caucasia. So a little bit about St. Patrick's Day,
Yes, please.
or the Feast of St. Patrick. It is the day of the Festival of Patrick. It's a religious cultural holiday held on the 17th of March, the traditional death date of good old St. Patrick, and he is the patron saint of Ireland. St. Patrick's Day was made an official Christian feast day in the early 17th century, and it is observed by the Catholic Church, the Anglican Communion, the Eastern Orthodox Church, and the Lutheran Church. The day commemorates St. Patrick and the arrival of Christianity in Ireland, and by extension celebrates the heritage and culture of the Irish in general. Celebrations generally involve public parades and festivals, and the wearing of green attire or shamrocks. Christians who belong to the liturgical denominations also attend church services. Historically, the Lenten traditions, no eating or drinking of alcohol, or no eating of meat and drinking of alcohol, were lifted for the day, which has encouraged and protagonized the holiday's tradition of mass alcohol consumption.
I like that. It was so very carefully worded,
Yes.
which pretty much means get fucked up on St. Patty's Day.
Hey, man. And I'll tell you, dude, a couple years ago, I went to Boston for St. Patty's Day.
Ah, yes.
And we saw Dropkick Murphys, which is one of my favorite bands. And I have to say, I was disappointed in the way that Bostonians do St. Patrick's Day compared to Chicagoans.
Really?
Like, it was cool. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Boston is one of the most historical cities in this country.
Yeah, they're the Fighting Irish and all that for a mascot, don't they?
No. Fighting Irish is Notre Dame.
Never mind.
The
Keep
Boston Celtics in basketball?
Yeah. You know I'm not huge on sports. Anyway.
I know. I know. Trust me, I know. Yeah. None of my friends are. It's pretty sad. But anyway.
For you.
But
not for
yeah,
us.
for me. But
keep going.
But no, it was cool there. They do a lot of reenactment type stuff, and I got to go to the oldest pub in the United States, and then also go to a place called the Green Dragon, which is where the Sons of Liberty, who started the American Revolution, met. And I actually got to sit in the bar where these guys were at, because it's still the original building, and have and I was telling the people that I was with, I was like, dude, you know how crazy this is? They're like, what? I'm like Thomas Jefferson, Sam Adams, Paul Revere, like all these people were in this building. This building is
was
still
it 1 by land, 2 by sea?
1 if by land, 2 if by sea. Yeah.
I remember my history a little bit.
But and then going back to the St. Patty's Day part of it, it was cool. They didn't have that big of a parade like the Southside Irish Parade. Or,
So you kind of had it overhyped in your mind, like, oh, this is going to be...
I thought it would have been insane going there. And it really wasn't. It was cool.
Did you have this is going to be like Mardi Gras built for St. Patty's because we're going to...
Kind of. We all had our mind set that it was going to be like the Southside Irish Parade on steroids.
Yeah.
And it was not. And it was fun. But then I know, and then a couple of years later, we went downtown here for St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
And it was so much better. But the problem was it was a little bit too much fun. And we got downtown early. We got a hotel and everything, so nobody was driving.
Yeah.
And dude, I don't know what happened, but it was like the first couple hours I was fine. And then I blacked out. And then I woke up in my now brother-in-law's hotel room, like throwing up in the, well, not in his hotel room, in the lobby of the hotel, throwing up in the bathroom.
Ugh.
And then all of a sudden, like, I come out and I'm talking fine and everything's fine. And everybody's like, hey, you okay? I'm like, yeah, why? What's going on? They're like, dude, for the past 2 hours, you were like in another world. And I'm like, well, I don't remember the last 2 hours, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So then I stopped drinking. I'm like, okay, done drinking. And wherever we go, if they have snacks, I'm just gonna keep eating.
Kind of.
Just to get
out.
Yeah. So he went to this one bar, and they had popcorn. They had a popcorn machine. And dude, I must have had like 50 bowls of popcorn just sitting there.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law is feeding me more bowls of popcorn. She's like, I'm watching you. Just keep eating. Just keep eating. And I'm like, all right, I'm good. I'm good. So then after like an hour and a half of that, like, I was normal again. Like, I was back. Like, I knew what was going on.
You were back to this reality?
Yes, I was back home. So then I'm like, all right, I'm like, all right, I'll have like a beer. Just because I'm like, well, I need something to drink now.
Yeah.
And they look at you funny if you're like, hey, can I get a Diet Coke? They're going to, you're going to be the butt of the joke somewhere. So I ordered a beer and just drank one. And now at this time, it was still relatively early. And they're like, well, let's go back to this other bar that we were at earlier in the day, where I remember going there and then forgot everything else that happened.
Yeah.
So we get back there. And now, bear in mind, I was blacked out for a couple hours, right?
Right.
We show up. They don't let in my brother-in-law because they think he's too drunk, but they let me in because they think I'm okay.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm laughing about it, and I'm like, man, I was blacked out like 2 hours ago,
Jeez.
and I was in no shape to do this, but they think I'm okay. So then we ended up like just saying forget it, and we went back to our hotel room and ended the night. But that was a fun time. It was crazy, dude. And
the one cool thing about Chicago is when I don't know how ecologically bad this is, but they paint the river green, which I'm sure is just like some sort of dye, right? But
well, yeah, they
that
put
is pretty
food
cool.
coloring in there, but it stays green
for days,
for years. All they do is color the dead bodies that are in there from the serial killer that Chicago doesn't want to talk about that they have. I mean, there's a serial killer that is killing, 20 to 30 something year old males who are walking, and they end up just finding them in the river days and weeks later when they're missing. But nobody wants to talk about that serial killer.
I do not know about that, sir.
Dude, just see how many males from the ages of like 22 to like 40 have gone missing in the city of Chicago and end up in the Chicago River. I'm just saying, it's been going on for years, and nobody wants to talk about it.
I didn't know they were connected.
It has to be. There's no way that's not a serial killer. Just saying. There's no way. It's one of the biggest things, like biggest cover-ups that the city is doing, is not saying that they have a serial killer on loose. Because they do.
It's not good fame. Not good
No,
propaganda.
but still, it's still something.
Yeah. I remember, have you ever seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Bits and pieces. I never really followed it.
There's a full episode about the whole colonial era
Okay.
of that, and they did a whole thing about how Mac and Dennis were they didn't know who was gonna win the war, so they were going fucking redcoats, and they were in the white makeup with the fucking wigs, and they end up they end up being the cause why the Bell of Liberty's cracked and shit. It's pretty funny. Can't remember the whole thing of the episode, but I think Danny DeVito ends up blowing Rickety Cricket's head off with a fucking musket. These are like they're I don't know, reimagining, I guess, the same cast, some past shit from those days. But yeah, I've always liked It's Always Sunny. They're pretty Irish forward on that show.
Yeah.
It's
So is St. Patrick's Day like celebrated down in Mexico?
Not really.
No,
it's not a holiday down there.
I would just figure that they would be like, hey, it's a reason to party.
It's known, but but it's like Cinco de Mayo is not celebrated down there either. I mean, it is, but it isn't like as big. Like they blow it up more here than they do down there.
Yeah,
which is weird.
Because then it gives people a reason here to do.
Drink.
Yeah.
And you don't need to give me a reason. You just need to tell me, hey,
True.
no consequences. Go ahead.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I don't mean like in the. You went dark really quick. I just meant like, drink, have fun.
Yeah.
Kind of no consequences. Not like, you get away with murder kind of consequences.
No, I don't mean that. It's just like no consequences. Like there's no consequences if you drink now.
True. Yeah.
But I feel like like St. Patrick's Day, at least here, like it's fun, but then it's like, okay, it's kind of like controlled chaos.
Yeah.
Like, and then I feel like when Cinco de Mayo happens here, it's like a war zone.
Tacos. Tequila.
No, well, like people with like going downtown and causing all that stupid shit that they do with like, just messing up traffic. Where it's like St. Patty's Day is a whole bunch of just like drunk white people that just go to bars.
Cinco de Mayo is the same.
Well, I know, but they're not. But I'm talking about as far as like the chaos part of it.
Yeah.
Like you don't hear about stores getting looted on St. Patrick's Day.
Is there a Cinco de Mayo parade?
I think they have one in Little Village.
Mexican part of Chicago, right?
Yeah.
So,
like
I'm not sure I'd call that a parade.
Like the Southside Irish Parade is in Beverly, which is a predominantly Irish neighborhood,
Okay.
mainly full of cops and firemen.
Ironic.
Yeah. Well, dude, it's one of the only. Well, it's starting to change now, but that was like, if you were a Chicago cop or Chicago fire, that was one of 5 neighborhoods that you tried to live in that whole city, because they'd be like, yeah, it's not crazy here.
It's like Copland.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a really nice area, and and you're far away from downtown. The only thing that sucks is that you're closer to some of the crappier suburbs that are closer to Indiana.
Yeah.
So that's the only downfall to it.
But
I know a few people that live in Beverly. It's nice.
Well, it's cop infested, so.
Oh, jeez.
Infested's the wrong word.
And the parade's cool because it's like it's through the neighborhood, and it's like there's the parade, but then like all the bars are open and like you can just walk around and drink, but then like houses do things too. Like they have other garages set up as like bars that you can go into and drink and eat and stuff. So it's a big community event.
Yeah.
To where and there's like no problems.
So I went to a few years back. It was Bubba and Phil. We did a pub crawl over in Lyons with Irish Times, and then they took us to a couple other bars there. But I didn't get too fucked up. We ended up drinking at this martini bar. It was like something blue, and Bubba was like, "I want a martini." I was like, "That's kind of a weird image. You holding a martini glass with your fucking combat boots?" But whatever.
Hey man, he's cultured.
Yeah. I'm not a martini guy, so I don't know. I was like, I just want a Guinness, And I thought it'd be more appropriate being St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, that's more of an appropriate drink than a martini.
Right. But
I won't crap on martinis though. I had a French martini one time. That thing was pretty good.
Well, that espresso on the rocks mix is a martini one.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. We've had it. So I'm not knocking martinis. I'm just saying, like, I don't know how to order one to be like, oh, this is my drink, my martini drink, let's say.
Yeah.
Just like how, you could say, like, oh, I want a margarita, like tequila mixed drinks. Or a Bloody Mary you can make with vodka or tequila, depending on your poison.
Mm-hmm.
But martinis, I would know would be like, oh, like all I know is like the Cosmo.
Well, you got a dirty martini, which just adds olive juice to it.
The Dirty Harry.
And then you got a French martini has like some kind of fruit juice in it or something different that makes it like maroon, and that one's pretty good. Then I had another one another time. I forgot what it was called. No. But like I didn't like just regular martinis because it's just straight up vodka and some.
So the good one was a grasshopper. Have you ever had one of those?
Yeah, that has cream de menthe in it.
Yeah, we had those. Well, we didn't like. Phil, Heather, Talia, and I got together Christmas when we couldn't fly down to Mexico at one point. So we hung out with them that Christmas. We went to Irish Times. and this was pre-Allison,
Mm-hmm.
so they were like, they didn't want to get a lot of drinks, and me and Fu were like, shit, we're like, sheesh, but they were like, oh, martini, grasshopper, okay. I think Heather got it first and Tyler tried it, and she was like, oh, I'll have one of those.
Yeah,
And I was like,
grasshopper tastes like a mint chocolate chip.
yeah, like Thin Mints.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, easy there, ranch water, chill out, don't drink too many of those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, a French martini, I just looked it up, is vodka, pineapple juice, and Chambord.
I like pineapple juice.
So it's a good one. I like that one. That one you can drink and not like. I mean, you can't have a lot of them, but I could drink that and be like, okay, this tastes good.
Yeah. It's like I could drink rum. Like throughout my 20s, I think I developed a tolerance for it more than vodka and all the other spirits. But because we were with the crowd I used to run. It was always like, hey, we're gonna chip in for beer, and you typically have your guys that drank a lot more than others.
Oh, yeah.
At the time to kick in, they're like, oh, I'm out. And it's like, well, dude, you drank like 18 out of a 24 pack, and now you have no money to chip in. So at one point, I was like, you know what? If everybody's bringing their own alcohol, and afterwards you want to chip in, I was like, I'm just gonna buy my bottle of Cap or my bottle of Kraken. I'll get a couple 2 liters of Coke and some sparkling water, because I like to throw a little sparkling to down the Coke a little bit, just wash it down. And I would drink those, and I like these dudes would be going through, a couple 24 packs or whatnot, and I would just like kill my bottle at the end of the night. They're like, can I have some? I was like, you got beer, brother? I'm like, you want a glass? Grab a glass, but you're not drinking my shit all night, dude. That's my liquor. It's my juice. And yeah, I did. I think I don't know if I still have that tolerance because I haven't drank that much rum in a long time, but yeah, for a couple of years, I was just like, oh, we're going out. I'll just get my rum. Like, we're gonna hang out. I'll get my rum.
See, I only liked rum if it was mixed into something.
Well, Coke, and I
But
was
see,
drinking
I'm
straight.
talking about like almost like a tropical type thing.
Okay.
I wasn't a big rum and Coke guy.
Okay.
I had one a few times and I just like, ugh. Like, it's okay.
I like them because they're sweet, but it still has that alcohol flavor in it.
Yeah.
A little bit. It depends on how you make it too. Like, you gotta put shitload of ice in there too. You know? Yeah.
I preferred not tasting the rum at all and just being like, oh, this tastes like fruit juice.
Because like even like Johnny Walker Black, I could drink that probably all day because I water it down. Ice, sparkling water, about 2, maybe 4 ounces of whiskey, and then you can coast like that all day.
Yeah.
Me and Hector do it all the time. So
See, that's how I am with tequila, though. I can drink tequila all day.
the thing is, tequila, depending on the brand, the flavor, it could be off-putting for me.
Yeah.
Like that fucking Cabo.
All right.
I could drink it, but I'm like,
I'm not saying that I would drink crappy tequila all day.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I would make sure I get
How about
something
some
good.
Casamigos for you? But see, like Cabo, that's like a shot tequila for me. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't drink that in a mixed
No,
drink and be
no,
like,
no.
oh no. But I'm not gonna put it down like it's garbage either. It's not. Oh, it's not the worst tequila I've had. Let's just put it that way.
No, but I would not. Yeah, that's when I would just take a shot of.
Yeah.
But like if I had,
Especially if you're at the beach, get us some Cabo.
Yeah.
Go all fucking white girl crazy.
no, I want Patron or Don Julio.
I think Patron was a fad too. It wasn't like I don't have any hate, but I don't have any love for it.
See, there was one like the top of the line one I had. That one was good compared to the other ones.
I still never got to try that Gritona they bought you for your birthday.
Oh, dude.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, you had
Yeah.
one sip and you're like, oh my god, this is so good.
Yeah, I was like, this is dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember because
Now
that
that-
shit went down so smooth.
Now that stuff, dude. See, now that's I could drink that all day.
Yeah, you gave me that, and I was like, do I have lime and salt? And you're like, you don't need it. And I was like, at least give me a lime. I want to be able to bite on something in case it's like, and I was like, oh, I didn't need it, but okay, lime, a little bit.
Dude, that stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
And they only make Reposado, and it's a women-owned and ran company.
That was some good tequila.
Yeah,
I'll give you that one.
that one was amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Like I Can't wait to go
And
buy
I like
another
that.
bottle.
The bottle, the
That's the
artisanal looking.
that's the best part of
It
it.
was like that fucking artisanal glass.
Mm-hmm.
That was a nice touch.
I like those because it makes me think of like pirates
Well,
and like a message in a bottle.
it had
you
that
know?
that cork that
Yeah.
it has that little hinge on it. I like that's a fucking dope move. I
Yes.
love bottles when I see them like that. I think like Heather got me. Well, she brewed some homemade beer, and she gave me a bottle of a beer she made. And it was good. And I dug the bottle. I was like, that's a fucking cool bottle. She was like, take it. I'm like, don't mind if I do.
Yeah, when I saw that, I looked at Colleen. I'm like, I want to start making a tequila collection and just having those bottles, like, and then just like getting some ice and putting that on a table and just be like,
Yeah, definitely. Like, but yeah, Patron. I'm not gonna throw hate on it, but it's nothing special to her. People are like, get some shots of Patron, get some Cabo, like all that. I'm like, you're in for a long night, lady.
well, that's like the one that I think is really overrated. Is
Patron?
no, the one with the bell, the blue and white bottle, and it has the bell on top.
I'm trying to remember.
I can't remember the name of it, but I know a whole bunch of people are like, that's the best. I'm like, no, it's not.
No.
I'm like, it's overhyped and overpriced.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can find it.
yeah. Like me personally, me and a couple buddies put back a whole bottle of Casadores one night, and it's like your lower brand tequila too. It's not
Clase
like,
Azul.
oh yeah, heard of that one.
Yeah, I mean the bottle's cool and it's okay, but it's not like there's way better stuff. There's ways better stuff that's like $40-$50 cheaper
Yeah,
than that.
yeah. Like Cazadores, Herradura, those are like your lower Mexican brand.
But see, I love
those
Herradura.
are like your more common, and they're better than Patron. They're better than,
Yes.
in my eyes. Opinions vary, but like as far as Casamigos and fucking and like I like tequila, but at that I will say I am picky on it.
Oh yeah, me too. Like but if somebody buys it for me,
Yeah,
like even though I don't like it, like I'll still drink it because you bought it for me.
right. Like that.
You know?
Well, the 1800 tequila cucumber or jalapeno cucumber one.
Mm-hmm.
That infusion was so good.
Oh yeah, that was.
And then you just think about it like I can make a mixed drink, throw some pineapple on there. Like you can mix it with a citrusy fruit, to make like a mix,
Mm-hmm.
and you could just drink that shit.
Yeah, that was really good. There was one that I had, and I remember I got it at Jewel, and it was only like $25. And dude, it was so good. I have to find it because
So good.
it wasn't harsh. It mixed easy, and it just like it was smooth, and it wasn't just like there's those some that you just get and you're like, oh, I could.
Here's the thing. With tequila, I don't mind so much if it burns, as long as it doesn't get like on the back of your jaw and you have that nasty taste.
Mm-hmm.
That's the shit that I don't like.
See, I don't like the ones that when you take it, you feel it like in your feet, like, oh, that was so bad.
Yeah.
Like Cuervo.
Cuervo, depending on which one, because they got the reposado, they got the silver,
Like I'm talking about.
and they got the añejo.
I'm talking about what you would drink when you were like 18, Cuervo. When you're like,
That's probably the silver.
Now the one that my parents got me for my birthday, the special edition one, dude, that stuff's good.
Yeah.
I'm still drinking that. I'm almost done with it.
Cuervo?
Yeah, but it's like the original recipe from when it was like first made, and then they sold out. It was before they sold out.
I remember this one get together we had. We were getting fucked up. We were in our 20s, and we weren't just drinking beer. So me and my buddies went and got a bottle of Jack,
Mm-hmm.
bottle of Johnny Walker, and Jose Cuervo. And I remember one of my buddies was on the couch. He's like, "Hey, Jack, Johnny, and Jose are here." That shit was funny.
Altos.
Altos.
Yeah, $27.99. That stuff's good, dude.
You know what's the shit I've wanted to try, but I'm like, ooh, that's dangerous. That vodka shit. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Oh, dude. So I think it's like vodka and tequila infused. Which is fucking like
Vodkila.
vodka.
Oh, here you go. Vodkila original watermelon vodka
So look at the bottle though.
is a new hybrid alcohol, 100% natural. The first vodka and tequila mix infused into one.
Yeah. It's got the little fucking dude right there.
There's a couple different ones.
Yeah. I've wanted to try Alacran too. Alacran. That shit looks. I just like the black bottle. It's like a matte black bottle. Looks dope. But I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, that's a cool looking bottle.
For what?
It's called Ocean Organic Vodka, and the bottle looks cool. It sits on an angle,
Yeah.
and it looks like the ocean. It's pretty cool. Has like a light blue bottle.
That's cool.
See, I was never a really big vodka guy, except for when I was in Vegas. When I went to Vegas, all I drank was vodka and Red Bull.
Yeah.
Like, that was the only thing I drank. And that was awful, dude. I came back never drinking vodka again.
I pretty much swore off vodka too. 20s, you know. Oh, put some juice in it. Screwdrivers, cranberry.
But
And then I would get the worst hangovers ever. Like I wanted to blow my fucking brains out hangovers.
dude, the best tequila that I had was... Let me see if I can find it. It was a special edition. It wasn't a special edition, but it was the top of the line Casa Dragones.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
And dude, I remember I was at a Christmas party, and the owner of the bar, because he has a shit ton of tequilas on the one side, and I was like, "Oh, dude, do you have this?" He's like, "Yeah, you want some?"
Is that the one that was like $200 a shot or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he's like, "Yeah, we got like a case of this downstairs," I'm like, "How many cases?" He's like, and he went down there. He goes, "Oh wait, no, we got 4 cases of this downstairs." And I'm like, I looked at Colleen. I'm like, you know, this is like $600 a bottle, like retail.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? I'm like, this is $600 a bottle. And he's got 4 cases of it downstairs. And then they're like, the owner's cousin, who's like a part owner. He's like, do you want to try some? He goes, I like it. Do you want some? I'm like, yeah, sure. And I thought he was going to give me like a shot.
Playing it cool? Yeah, sure.
I thought he was going to give me just like a shot. And he pulls out a rocks glass,
Ooh.
puts ice, and just goes, dum, 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 dum.
Enjoy.
He goes, here you go. And I'm like, am I just taking a sip and you're going to finish? He goes, no, that one's for you. This one's for me.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay.
You just put $100 into a glass, son.
So I took a sip, and then Colleen came back. She goes, oh, do you like it? I'm like, yeah, but I have to like really savor this moment.
Yeah.
She's like, why? I'm like, because this is probably like $200 worth of tequila that's in my glass right now, and I'm gonna savor every second of it.
Right. Well, it's like there's certain alcohols that I feel like you're doing a disservice if you pour anything or if you mix it with anything.
Yeah.
Like even if you water it down, like even putting ice in it.
See, now that one, I mean, if it was, I would need it. I would still need it chilled.
Yeah.
So like,
but you can get that like that ice ball.
yeah,
That would be like,
yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah.
And just a little bit of salt and lime, it would have been.
You're fucking it up.
No, I think it would just complement it just enough. Like one little piece of lime, just to put like on the rim, and then just sprinkle some salt on the ice ball.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it was still good without that.
Yeah.
But I feel like that would have just
enhanced the
mellowed it out just a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that was some good stuff.
Like that, I think.
Oh, that's
Johnny
cool.
Walker Green and Blue.
Oh,
you don't fuck with those. Maybe ice, but that's about it.
This is a really cool bottle. Here, look at this bottle that type this tequila in there.
1 second. Let me pull up my Google machine. What am I looking up now?
I'll spell it for you. INQUIUIETO.
Inquieto.
Yeah. Look at these bottles, dude. These are pretty neat.
Uneasy.
Well, maybe put tequila.
Yeah.
Like, those bottles are cool. It looks like...
The tornado.
No, it looks like they're being, like, wrapped up.
Yeah.
Like, look at the black...
This one?
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
easy to topple over though.
Well, yeah,
Inquieto.
but those look pretty cool.
Does Ireland, would the Irish have a spirit?
Irish whiskey.
Yeah. But whiskey is whiskey from.
Well, it's the Irish whiskey.
So it's like their variation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, dude. Irish whiskey. And there's Jameson is good, but there are so many other ones that are really good.
Yeah.
And then they also have this other thing. It's called I bought it.
Drink that or what's
Yeah.
up with you?
While I'm talking. It was called, let me see if I can find it. It was it Irish Whip? Whiskey? I think that's what it's called. Yeah. So this is this stuff called Shanky's Whip. It's Irish cream liqueur.
Okay.
So it's like it's whiskey and liqueur put together, and dude, it tastes like a vanilla milkshake.
Like Bailey is Bailey's Irish?
Yeah, but that's more like mocha-ish type stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, this stuff is insane. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called? Shanky's.
Shanky's Whip, made in Ireland.
Like whip as in whipped cream, I take it, not as in whoosh.
Well, it has a picture of a guy whipping a turkey.
Oh. Okay. Never mind. Take that back.
So yeah, here. Shanky's Whip is smooth black Irish whiskey with complex flavor. The subtle sweetness of caramel and vanilla complement the rich flavor of Irish whiskey. Whiskey with the taste of cream, vanilla, and caramel blended into smooth black liqueur, the likes of which the world has never seen before.
I'm not going to pour all this into my glass. I'm going to leave some for you because
Okay.
I feel like you're nursing that for some reason.
I am, because we were talking, dude. Like, I don't know.
I think this is the most you've ever talked on an episode.
That's not true.
I know. I'm just busting your balls
I've
because you
talked
won't
more.
drink.
Well, you know. But yeah, I bought this for Colleen's dad for Christmas, and dude, it was so good.
They are very Irish, aren't they? They're Irish Polish, like you?
No, they're Irish and Italian.
Oh.
So I'm Irish, Polish, and Choctaw Indian. But where they're from, their family is from Donegal, Ireland, which is up in the north.
Yeah.
And my family is from Cork, Ireland, which is down in the south.
Have you ever done one of the... You did do one of those...
23andMe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you found out you were a little bit Cherokee or whatever?
No, I knew that. I found that out because my great great grandmother was full-blooded.
She scalped your grandpa and you're like, you're mine now.
I don't know. She might have. She was,
Dude, did you...
she was a mean-looking old lady.
I think I told you about this last episode, but you saw... Have you got a chance to watch that show?
No.
Was it an Indian one?
No, I haven't.
I forgot the name of it.
I know what you're talking about, but no, I haven't been able to see it yet.
Yeah, it's good, dude. They fucking... Dude.
But yeah,
Very realistic.
I did do 23andMe, and...
Great, now China can clone you.
Yeah, I know.
If I ever lose you, I'll replace
That's all right.
I'll just order one online.
But it was
Can I
weird,
order
dude, because
a
it was able to. So I knew the Irish part, but I didn't know what county I was from, and that's why I found out I was from Cork. But the craziest thing though was the Polish side, dude. They tracked it all the way down to the town that my grandmother's parents were from. Like, that's how far back it went as far as detailed. So that's when I was asking my dad, I'm like, hey, this town? He's like, yeah, that's where your family's from. I'm like, shit, they hit that shit on the noggin, dude.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. But yeah, I have Cork, Ireland, and then a small portion of Glasgow, Scotland. And a mixture of those two down in Greater London.
Okay.
So, but the majority of it was from Cork, Ireland. So
that explains the drinking.
Yeah, because Long is actually an Irish surname, and that's where the Irish part of me's from. And then on my mom's side, McKaig is actually Scottish, and that's the Glasgow part.
Hence the Mc.
Yeah, sure. If you want to say.
Are you McLeod?
No, McKaig.
McKaig. I've never done one of those. I think if I did it, it'd probably come back like, oh, Spanish, for sure, because Gonzalez is a Spanish surname. But I don't know. It probably traced back somewhere. Probably maybe some French. I don't know when they colonized over there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd have to do it to see exactly where I might be player. You know what up, Marcus?
Well, you got to think like when you have like melting pots of like America, like yeah, Mexico has the Spanish influence, but there was so many other cultures that came in and through.
Italia's got fucking Portugal roots too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you have
Portuguese roots.
like, and then those cultures expand even further because of where those people came from.
Yeah.
So you know, like it's crazy to think about, and like even there's parts of like
what would be fucked up if you're like you're a relative of Vlad Tepes? Like what?
But well, you got was it Jalisco that had a lot of Germans?
I'm not sure.
There was, but there was that one province or state in Mexico that had like a lot of Germans, you know. And then you go down to Argentina, and they're like half German.
Speaking of Argentina and heritage, you saw Starship Troopers, right?
Yeah.
Did you see the whole like? Yeah, they're basically the Nazis.
Yes.
I was like,
yep.
Oh shit!
And that's why it was in Argentina.
Yeah. I was like, oh.
Yep.
Buenos Aires.
Yeah. Well, there was also a whole culture in.
And you got Casper Van Dien, the poster boy for like German imagery.
Yep. Is it Chile? It's either Chile or Brazil. That I have to look at a map because there's a portion of one of those countries. Here, let me look up South America real quick.
Yeah.
That I was watching this.
Well, which ocean was it?
Pacific.
That'd be Chile.
Well, oh yeah. So actually, let me double check if it's Chile or if it's. Let me see, or is it Peru? It's one of the countries on the Pacific side have a large population of like Latino Japanese, or like it was like Latino Japanese or like Latino Filipino, because
like kind of
Asian, because there was a volcano like I forgot how many hundreds of years ago, and the people left in boats, and the current brought them all the way over to South America, and they set up an area, and they're like straight up Asian looking, but they speak like Spanish and whatever
Peruvian or
Asian culture that they speak in, and they combined like the food culture and everything. Like it was crazy, dude. And it was like, I'm like, wow, that's insane to see something like that.
Me a dog.
You know, but it was pretty cool to see that. And then they ended up tracing it back that there was like some super volcano that happened in the Pacific, and those people where they were from was getting destroyed, and they left and had to go to the South America.
Well, it's like, see, I can't speak about every other country, but I know in Mexico, you could see like basically every race, and they're Mexican. Like you got Lupita Nyong'o, who's clearly African roots.
Yeah.
Mexican. And then you got guys that look like fucking Casper Van Dien that are Mexican. God, is it raining?
I know.
Getting a little something in the headphones, but but yeah, like you got every kind of variation type Mexican. So Mexico, kind of like the United States, is a huge melting pot of various cultures. Now,
and it's like the Caribbean too,
right? But like the stereotypical like Mexican that everybody's like, oh, where's your bro? You look at the small brown Mexican, kind of like native, squinty eyes.
Yeah, and then that's another thing. We bring it back to like,
it's yours.
Yeah, it was like Native Americans.
Yeah.
Or like when I guess it'd probably be more, like the
Mexas,
yeah, and even then it changes even to a whole other thing of like how many
those Native Americans, from Mexico, like the Mayans, Aztecs, and
then you go to like Puerto Rico or Cuba, and you got like blonde-haired, blue-eyed to like I can't see you at night.
Yeah,
like. That is such a crazy.
You need to smile when you walk down the street at night, mijo.
Like it's such a crazy spectrum of a culture to where you go from, man, you're really white to like, man, you are dark.
But you got you have Mexicans that look straight up Russian.
Mm-hmm.
You got those or Armenian. Yep. And you're like, what the fuck? And they're like, yeah, my parents immigrated all like generations ago, and here we are, Mexican.
Well, I
So-
told you, dude, when I worked in Cicero, so many people thought I was from Mexico. And I had no idea. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm white as they come.
Mhm.
I'm like, I like tacos.
Did I ever tell you my Cabo story when I went to Cabo?
Uh-uh.
So we went to the market, and I was with my two buddies, and they're not dark skinned by any means. Like one of them's kind of like pale, like I don't want to say pale white, but like pale Mexican. Yeah, pale Mexican, I guess.
Not
And
so brown.
Yeah, and
Tan.
his brother's a little bit darker. But we're down there, and they could tell my buddy was Mexican for some reason. He had the really thick dark hair, all that junk. But we went to the market, and you're looking at the little bracelets and all that shit. And I'm like, oh, how much is that? And they're like, $15, $20. And I'm like, and my buddy comes up, he's like, in Spanish, he's like, how much is it? They're like, 50 pesos. And I'm like, motherfucker, you're just trying to save me for 400 pesos with $20, bitch. And they're like, oh, fuck. The look on their face where they're like, oh, shit, we were trying to stiff a straight up Mexican. And it's funny how some people, they're like, they look at me and they're like, you're fucking Mexican? And I'm like, yeah. Like, my name is Juan.
Don't you remember we had this conversation?
Yes.
We almost got in a fight with somebody because of this conversation.
The really trippy part is when they hear me actually speak Spanish, that's when they fucking flip their lid. Because they're like, oh, you're just probably like a white Mexican. And I'm like, no. Let me freak you out a little bit. It's kind of funny.
Well, yeah, we had an interesting conversation with somebody for a while about you being Mexican.
I know. I was there.
I know, and that's what I'm just like, yeah, it happens a lot to you.
I mean, a lot of people kind of figure out once they hear the name, like, oh, your name's Juan. But if, for example, my initials are JJ, Juan Jose, I'm a John Joe. If I went by like a nickname, like, yo, JJ, they'd be like, oh, that dude,
Like JJ.
Like JJ. Yeah. That would have been awkward.
Hey, JJ.
Yeah.
Hey, try being in a friend group where there's another Kyle, and you hear that name one, you're like, what?
Dude, the street that I grew up on in Mexico, there was 9 Juans, counting dads and kids. Because, I think I was the number 9, the odd number, because my dad, his name wasn't Juan, but 4 neighbors had their name was Juan.
Juan 1,
Juan Manuel,
3.
Juan something, and they all named their
Juan
kid.
2, 3, 4.
Yes. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, heard all those jokes. But yeah,
Juan and done.
I'm Juan in a million.
In Mexico, yeah, you are Juan in a million.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
We're looking for Juan.
Dude, when I did they did a background check on me because I was getting there was fraud on my phone statement or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yeah, we have to look you up, and I'm like, all right, here's my name, Juan Jose Gonzalez Lopez. They're like, oh fuck.
Shit.
Yeah, they're like, fuck, you have the most common name ever. You're like the John Smith of Mexico.
Oh, dude, yeah, that was always the problem. Like when I was on the job, and they'd be like, oh, what's your name? Jose.
Yeah.
Jose what? Lopez.
Oh fuck.
Do you have a middle name? Juan. Oh, okay. Jose Juan Lopez.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a birthday? I don't know it. And they'd be like, oh, Jesus. Do you remember when you were born? No.
Yeah.
How old are you? I don't know.
You just get thousands of registers.
Yeah, and you look through them like, what's your address or what town do you live in?
I don't know.
And I'm like, I could kind of simplify it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like, all right, we knocked it from 10,000 to 5,000.
Yeah. It's just as bad as like John Smith.
Yeah. Exactly. Whatever.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy the different like backgrounds and cultures when you really go into it and how they all still kind of intertwine.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
remember I had this one teacher because in Mexico they use both your parents' names, so they use your mom's and your dad's, right? And I had one teacher. He's like, you could probably train your lineage all the way back to the Jewish. And I was like, really? He's like, oh yeah, they are. He's like, your last names are both Jewish, and I was like, thanks.
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm 0.02% Jewish.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are anyway. If you had any family, in like Eastern Europe, like your heritage in like, Poland, anywhere near Russia, Czechoslovakia, Estonia, like those areas.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have a tiny bit of
Something.
Jewish heritage in you because, I mean, that area was
Basically where everybody lived.
saturated with.
Yeah.
No, not saturated. That sounds like a bad word to say.
No,
But
no,
it was a big Jewish population,
right.
and that's like one of my family members. I'm pretty sure was in a concentration camp during World War II, but that's just because where they were at in Poland. But like, yeah, I'm sure a great huge portion of the world population could trace their lineage back to having somewhat of a percentage of Jewish heritage because, I mean, if you have any family coming from anywhere in Europe, somebody was part Jewish
at one point.
because even down in Spain and Portugal, there was a big population there for a period of time.
Right.
There was a big Muslim population there for a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
What were they? The Moors? The Moors from Africa that came up into Spain and Portugal.
Yeah.
Like there was a big Muslim population for a while. So I feel like those all are interconnected.
Yeah. I don't know. I actually had a long conversation. Well, I shouldn't say long, but we had a conversation about religion at work, which is kind of cool, I guess, because I mean nobody's open or closed-minded. You just talk and people listen. So I had a conversation with. As soon as you start talking religion, people are devout. They're like, "Oh no,
Mm-hmm.
la 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 la." They put their fingers in their ears and go for.
Oh, so they were Muslim going on a.
Huh?
They were Muslim.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I meant like Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber.
Uh-huh.
Fucking Lloyd Christmas. I don't want to hear it. La 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 la. No take backs, but yeah. Because I remember when we used to party, the three rules were no talk about politics, religion, or aliens. Until we were super fucked up and it was the inner circle. Like the closest friends. That's when we were at the end just fucking sitting in a circle like, all right, here's our AA meeting. Kinda. But yeah, like because you didn't want to freak out the rest of the crowd, like if you had friends of friends or girls were there, and whatnot. You don't want to freak them out like, oh, this dude's a fucking weirdo. He believes in aliens. It's like, really? You think we're alone in the universe? Yeah, it's a pretty big place.
Yeah.
But,
I don't think we're alone. It'd just be weird if we were.
Well, existence is pretty weird. We can save that for the next episode. We'll talk about that shit.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Let's talk about the forbidden topics of drinking. We'll save that one.
The forbidden topics of drinking. Huh?
Oh, yeah, dude. You never heard those?
Oh, yeah, I know. But that's why I don't talk about it.
Because those are the three things people get rowdy with,
Yeah.
Because culture believes in...
Oh, dude, I have...
and whatnot.
I have a friend that as soon as we start talking, if she brings up religion, I just say we need to stop... Or not religion. She brings up politics.
Yeah.
Like, we need to stop talking right now.
Yeah.
And she looks at me. I'm like, nope, just stop. Just stop.
Shut the fuck up.
She's like, why? I'm like, because we're friends, and this is where we differ.
And
we differ so drastically that we just need to stop talking.
Yeah.
I'm like, you are in a different world, and we just don't need to talk about it. So we will not talk about it.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Yeah. We're coming to a close here soon.
We are?
Yeah.
I guess I should finish my beer.
You should. So should I. Still good.
Well, before...
Oh! Still good, dude. I'm so happy I chose this one.
Yeah, that is a really good one.
Dude, and that picture I sent you, I was like, oh, I hope he doesn't think of buying that. The
Goldfinger? I'm like, oh, I thought you were going to just buy it for yourself.
Nah. Well, I figured since I said you, like, oh, we're going to do it. And then I was like, when you said nice, I was like, oh, he's okay with doing that repeat. I'm okay with doing that one again.
Well, dude, that one was good, so I wouldn't be disappointed.
And we don't have it up there, so we should get it again.
So,
that was definitely wall-worthy.
Oh, yeah, that was definitely a really good one. I wouldn't have complained about that.
That's, I would say, definitely top two. Because that Goose was really good.
Goes.
Goose. And the one with the...
All right, first of all, yeah, it does need to go up there.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. The fucking yellow?
Mm-hmm. And you know what else needs to go up there that we didn't have here, but we had out, was that stout from Haymarket.
Oh, yeah.
That was another one that should be up there.
Well, for me, for sure.
I liked it.
I know you liked it,
You
which
know,
is, you know.
Chicago Tavern beer needs to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think that the Blood Orange Blonde, dude. That's another good one that needs to be up there. So those are ones that we can bring back because those guys were fucking awesome. And, you know.
Nobody ever said we can't do repeats.
Oh, I know. But we just don't talk about them as much. We just we just drink them.
These are facts.
You know.
You're speaking truths.
And then there was a couple other ones we got to get. We got to get Punk Rock for the Rich Kids, which is another really good one. That's from Solemn Oath in Naperville.
Okay.
So that's another good one.
Yeah.
That one's hard to find though. They don't always have it out. They kind of brew it in like small batches for some reason, but it's really good.
Yeah.
But that's one that would definitely go up there. Actually, that would go above the fireplace, like right there.
Oh, right there with that.
It'd go up. Actually,
Mexican lager.
I would put it up there
On top of the TV.
Yes.
Easy
That's
killer.
it, dude. It's so good.
We're running out of space to put shit here.
It is so good. I know we need to do some rearranging here.
Remodeling.
Yes. Yeah, dude. I think it's time, especially with your kid coming downstairs to invade.
Oh, she's got it.
I know, but it's just like we're gonna have to move some stuff around.
We got a corral for her. She's not gonna be opening Funko Pops just yet.
Ooh, could you imagine? You come down here, she's like Talia's working out, and she just gets out, just.
Well, when she goes, you see her eyes light up when she comes down. She's just like.
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna be like,
and
"Oh, this is my prized possession."
So, I got the Batmobile, the 1989 Lego Batmobile, and it's like not the little one because I have that one over there. It's the big one, the $300 one. And my godson, he's like, "Can we build that?" I was like, "You don't have the patience for it, buddy." I'm like, "When you're 10, we'll talk about it." And every time he comes over, not so much lately, but because I think he forgot about it for a little bit. But every time he would come over, he'd be like, "You know, I'm 8 now. When are we gonna build that Batmobile?" I was like, "We talked about this. When you're 10, we'll talk about it." I'm like, "You don't have the patience." I'm like, "You couldn't build we couldn't build a 150 piece Lego together because you were like, I'm bored. I'm fucking going out and playing." I'm like, that's gonna be days. I'm like, because I don't have time.
Yeah. Oh, dude, trust me. I know. I have the Home Alone house sitting up in my attic.
Still in box?
Still, no, kind of half started and half not.
Yeah. Dude,
it's just sitting up there, just hanging out.
One of the biggest ones I've
$300, just sitting there.
The Millennium Falcon. Not the 500 or it's like $800 now. I want that one. Too big though.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking Battle Destroyer or the
Star Destroyer.
Star Destroyer. But and the ATT. No, AT-AT.
Yeah.
I got the small one. The like $60 one.
The ATST? The two
no,
leg
it's the
or?
4 leg.
Oh, it's the 4
leg. The big turtle looking one. I got that one. But I was like, oh, dude, I fucking love those things. And I was like, I do have the patience to build like a really big scale model one. I don't have the time right now though. But and I don't have the space. As you can tell.
Yeah.
I like stopped buying shit because of that.
I feel like you need to get a storage unit.
No.
And put these in storage.
Well, all this shit's going on the market to somebody who had the passion I had at one point.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You put it all in there. That way you can categorize it and have it in,
It's going to be a sad moment when all this shit goes away.
Yeah, dude.
It's going to be sad.
Yeah.
I was talking about it because I've been trying to sell my, at least the Funkos and the comics, I want them, to go, And I was talking to he older guy at work, And I was telling him, I was like, oh yeah, I collect vinyl and comics. He's like, you do? I was like, yeah. He's like, I used to collect comics. He's like, I got some fucking Golden Age ones. And I was like, really? And he told me, he's like, yeah, I got a couple hundred, not a lot. And I was like, I got close to 5,000. He's like, holy shit. And I was like, dude, I collected from like 2015 to like 2024, 10 years. I'm like, I got a fucking library down there. And I was showing him, do you remember when I built the helicarrier?
Mm-hmm.
I showed him a video of that I had. He's like, you should use that to sell them. Like, that would fucking, like, they'd probably fly out. I was like, I don't have it. I took it apart. The fucking helicarrier. I was like, that shit's pieces now. I'm in the trash. He's like, I can't believe you had time and patience to build that, and the fucking imagination to do it for like 6-inch scale figures. And I was like, I was single. I was like, I had a lot of time. I was not fucking a horn dog, so it wasn't like I was trying to go like, oh my god, I need to hook up with someone. I was like, that was not the last thing on my mind, but it wasn't like, like I know a lot of guys that are like, all they think about is that. And I'm just like, dude, you gotta have something else. I'm like, you could always rub one out. It's not the end of the world if you don't.
Yeah, but it's not the same, dude.
It's not the same. But there was a comic. This is a funny joke. There was a comic who said, he's like, you can always rub one out. When you do that, you fuck whoever you want, in any position you want, and you nut wherever you want. And he's like, you know what the best part is? No cleanup.
Oh, jeez. Kind of there's a cleanup.
Depends if you're careful or not, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But in the words of Tech Knight, there's a hole.
I'm
gonna fuck it.
Yeah. And with that, we bring this episode to a close. That was a good close.
Yes.
What are we shooting to?
What are we shooting to?
Yes. What are we shooting?
You just want to finish Blue Hawaii?
It's a mix of, yeah, sure. Why not? Fuck it.
And then does this go? Does this go on the?
Depends. Up to you. I liked it.
It's good. It is not
the jalapeno pineapple.
Yes, that dude is something else.
We need to bring that one back.
Yes, we need to go buy a couple of.
We need to finish some of that other tequila too, though.
Yeah, that's true.
That shit's building up. We're gonna do a clean out the fridge. It's gonna be a few tequilas and a beer. There's gonna be a special episode. We're gonna get super fucked up.
So I'm staying over that night.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask for a couple days vacation for recovery. Thank you, sir.
It's going to be an all-night episode because I'll be like, all right, I'm not going home. Might as well just keep recording.
Yeah, record some songs at the end of the night. Why not? Fuck it.
Oh, dude. Yeah. All right, before we end, I told you about this story.
Okay.
When I was at home.
Is this a Josie and Jesse's
the outfield?
Yeah.
The outfield, and then so I'm playing the song and Colleen's singing, Josie's on a vacation far away, and then she starts singing Jesse's Girl.
Jesse's Girl.
And I'm just like and I'm looking at her, I'm like, one, it's not the same name, and two, it's not even the same song.
Yeah. I was kind of bummed when I found out Tony Lewis died, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that and
we should have done a car bomb, dude. Oh, that would have been awesome.
Not with this beer.
I know, but if we found one.
When we do Guinness, we'll do that. Cheers, everybody. Good night, and we'll see you later.
Yep.
Cue the music.